triple threat match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first. It's Brittnie.
Triple threat action as we roll on. Jordan Castle and Remy Morgan joined now by the Glamazon, Pollo Del Mar. Pollo, welcome.
Thank you so much, Jordan. You and I go a long way back in this venue.
Sure do. Fighting in LA, as it were. I'll tell you what, and this is a real, true, genuine fact. The first time I should say, that you and I broadcasted together in this building, the Don Quixote, Brittnie Brooks was a sophomore in high school, and that is a true fact, a testament to her status as a prodigy here in professional wrestling.
Look at Brittnie coming out here looking like $1 million. Absolutely the center of attention indeed. I love this look, honey. She needs to stay out of my wardrobe.
Brittnie recovering from a major injury. You can see those two knee braces.
They are bedazzled, rhinestoned, out.
But let's make it very, very clear, Pollo. Those are not just fashion statements for Brittnie Brooks.
But
fighting tooth and nail to get back in a wrestling ring.
Wait, so that's not an homage to Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Now, Pollo, question for you.
Yes.
Are you going to be able to maintain, shall we say, professionalism with Evan Daniels and the third member of this triple threat match in competition here tonight?
Well, we will find out. Evan Daniels, look at this, quite literally a star tonight coming to the ring.
Calls himself main event Evan Daniels. Was telling me earlier on tonight he feels disrespected that he wasn't gifted a main event spot. He wasn't gifted entry into our Fatal 4-Way AFA Championship match later on tonight. What do you make of that, Remy?
Well, it seems like maybe he's not the only person on this show who's not having this spot. You know, we kind of heard Chris Nasty talking about the same thing earlier.
Of course, Chris Nasty's scheduled to continue his competition against Barbie Boy.
You know, this has been a night so far of people throwing extreme tantrums because of the fact that they have not been gifted a spot in the main event. Welcome to professional wrestling where you worked your way into the main event. It does not matter if you are Jordan Cruz, who also has not gotten a main event spot tonight. And if anybody on our roster deserves one, it could likely be Jordan Cruz.
Speaking of gifted, this man, Jordan Cruz, how talented and scary sometimes is Jordan Cruz. Look how intense he is.
Jordan Cruz has always had all the tools. He's had the size, he's had the athleticism, he's had the look, he's had the brains. It's all been there for Jordan Cruz, but you locked in on it, Remy Morgan. That intangible intensity that I think really he's only started to lock into since returning from an injury of his own. That is what makes Cruz so dangerous.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, Jordan, because Evan Daniels is the only person in this match who's not freshly coming off an injury.
Look, I will tell you this. The first time that Jordan and I sat at this announce table in this venue, Jordan Cruz was on that. He was coming up on maybe his second or third year in professional wrestling at that time. He has gone from that to being a world-class superstar.
Hold on. Evan Daniels and Jordan Cruz exchanging words. Brittnie Brooks feeling a little left out of the action here. A very, very interesting dichotomy here. As you mentioned, Remy, both Brooks and Cruz recently returning from potentially career-ending injuries, and a lot of personality at play between these three.
And Evan Daniels now trying to find his way from in between.
And Seguri kick to Cruz, shot from Brittnie Brooks here. Who do you give the edge to in this one, Morgan?
You know, I have to give it to Jordan Cruz. I mean, just look at him in there with Evan Daniels and Brittnie Brooks. How would you not give him an advantage?
I would tend to agree. However, one of the things that I do believe is going to play into this is that both of these competitors may underestimate Brittnie Brooks. She is smaller, She is coming fresh off an injury, but she is tenacious, and that is something that I think that if they underestimate her, it is going to be her biggest advantage.
You underestimate Brittnie Brooks at your own risk. Only 20 years of age, a couple years into her journey as an active professional wrestler, and Brittnie Brooks already making headlines nationwide. There is nary a weekend where Brittnie Brooks is not traveling the country winning championship gold. Leg hooked, but only a 2.
Daniels may be very wisely spending a little time outside the ring, maybe let these guys wear each other down a little bit, but you have to be careful because you can lose a match and not be involved in the pinfall.
That is correct, but at the same time, he is outside. He's recuperating while they're beating each other up. And the fact of the matter is, they're expending energy, and he is not.
Not only that, but as we see here, Pollo picking his spot, waiting for the perfect moment when Brittnie presented herself to Evan, taking her outside the ring and picking the bones here against Jordan Cruz.
Absolutely
Sometimes
correct.
It's not the most tenacious person or the strongest person, it's the smartest competitor that'll win a matchup.
I'll give the devil his due. Evan Daniels' nasty attitude, as cocky as they come. He is a smart, cerebral wrestler, my friends. Tijeras from Jordan Cruz, deceptive agility from the big man.
That is something that you don't often see from Jordan Cruz.
Exploder suplex. And I want to point out, oftentimes when we see athletes return from serious injuries, they modify their strategies. Cover. Kick up from Daniels. Not so with Jordan Cruz, taking as many risks and looking as explosive as, frankly, as I've ever seen him here, Remy.
Jordan Cruz doing the opposite of kind of what you just said. He came back from an injury and he's added tools to his bag. He's become more dangerous. He's become more athletic.
Maybe thinking no more sorrow, that brain buster on the knee, but Brittnie Brooks looking to steal it. Only a 2.
I was there the night that Jordan Cruz broke his leg, and that was such an unfortunate incident. But he came back faster than anybody expected, actually.
Brooks tucks the line. Cruz does the same. These two so evenly matched here. And the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Maybe trying to wipe out Evan Daniels and then turn their attentions towards one another here, Remy?
That's definitely a strategy at play, but usually something like that'll break down, maybe a miscommunication or.
Well, we're seeing it here.
There it is. The commentator's curse.
Evan Daniels looking to prove he belongs in that main event, as he said, looking to prove that he belongs in that AFA championship match, and certainly making no friends here in Los Angeles, Pollo.
Well, I don't think that he's here to make friends. That's something that I do respect about Evan Daniels. He's confident, he's self-assured, he believes in himself.
It sounds like someone else I know.
Absolutely correct. And he feels strongly that he has been overlooked for that main event spot. This is his opportunity to earn it. If you want a spot in the next AFA main event, pick up a victory tonight, Evan Daniels.
It will be Keita, Delilah Doom, Ray Rosas, or Dark Sheik walking away from You're Invited as inaugural AFA champion. But right now, Brittnie Brooks taking the fight to Evan Daniels, but she lacks in size here, Remy Morgan. She more than makes up for in heart.
Talk about people not lacking size. You got Jordan Cruz making his way back into the ring right now.
Yep, Jordan Cruz looking a little worse for wear. Lands the sunset flip. Kick out here from Daniels.
Now, if I were strategizing this match, and I were Evan and Brittnie, I would have taken out Jordan Cruz first. I would have eliminated the biggest threat, and then as the two smaller competitors, then we could have fought it out for victory.
That's a great strategy, but we've kind of seen Evan Daniels do the opposite. We've let him watch these two beat the hell out of each other and then kind of pick his moments.
Tope Suicida!
And there was one of his moments.
Moment picked, and I'm only just now recognizing it here. Evan Daniels close to our commentary booth. He's busted open. I'm not sure if it's the nose or the mouth, but he is bleeding something crazy here, my friends.
Got some blood coming out of his face, but if we know anything about Evan Daniels, that is not going to stop him.
No.
However, it won't stop him, but if it's his nose, that makes it extraordinarily hard to breathe.
In comes Brittnie Brooks, looking to exploit that injury, looking to exploit that blood here. Has control of the arm.
Beautiful hangman's neck breaker there.
Talk about not missing a step. We spoke to it earlier on with Jordan Cruz. The same can be said of the center of attention.
20 years old, Brittnie Brooks wrestling like somebody who has been in this industry for quite some time and looking like $1 million, I have to say.
That is the Brittnie, and how much more devastating is it with those bedazzled knee braces?
Significantly more.
Jordan Cruz here, control of the foot. Brittnie Brooks begs him off, but it might have been the only opening Evan Daniels needed. Catching
no.
Brittnie Brooks mid-crossbody.
Cannot take your eye off the ball in a match like this. Easier said than done. Brittnie
Fireman's
Brooks paying
carry.
for it now.
Oh no!
Shotgun drop kick from Jordan Cruz, wiping out both Daniels and Brooks.
Into a Samoan drop. That was devastating.
Not sure if that was even intentional from Evan Daniels or if he just dropped Brittnie Brooks along the way. Either way, all three combatants down here, Pollo.
Absolutely correct. Jordan Cruz struggling to get back to his feet. Same for Evan Daniels. Brittnie Brooks is almost out on the ring apron. Oh my God.
Intensity of Jordan Cruz knowing no bounds here tonight, maintaining the waist lock with a triad of German suplexes here.
Absolutely. That is one of Jordan Cruz's specialties, the trio, or sometimes, as we just saw, 4 in a row.
Talking about one of his specialties, locking in that ankle lock, looking to make Evan Daniels submit, but Daniels escapes, sending Cruz careening into that middle turnbuckle.
Jordan Cruz, one of the things that people don't talk about.
Hold on. Rolling through into that ankle lock, making it look effortless, Remy.
The opposite of most competitors, the longer a match goes on, the better Jordan Cruz gets.
Yeah, not with Brittnie Brooks in your rearview mirror. If this was a singles match between Daniels and Cruz, absolutely I would agree. You saw Brittnie take advantage. You saw Brittnie pick her spot, and now that might be what costs Cruz. The arm goes down once, goes down twice. If we get a third, this match is over in favor of Brooks. No,
absolutely not. The modern day Spartan has shown that he has quite a lot left in him.
Not only did Jordan Cruz keep that arm up, use that intensity, use that second wind to lock in the ankle lock here against Daniels, and now digging that knee into the mush of Brittnie Brooks.
That took the face off Brittnie Brooks.
Oh, nobody home there. Really jinks her, and Brooks taking advantage with a DDT.
Well, you have to remember, Jordan Cruz just kicked that middle rope, and he's coming off of a broken leg, that very same broken leg.
His face is going to be broken after this. Cross face applied off the tilt-a-whirl. Center of the ring, nowhere for Jordan Cruz to go.
Evan Daniels struggling to get back to his feet and breaking it up, as we saw.
Double foot stomp. Remy Morgan, if you are any 3 of these combatants, what do you do to offset the numbers game?
You need to be where Evan Daniels is right now. You need to be in control of this matchup. You need to be the person on their feet, picking their spots, picking the bones of your competitors.
But at the same time, right now, Evan Daniels is burning daylight. This is when he should, Jordan Cruz is on the outside, Brittnie Brooks is down. He should be striking right now. He should not be playing to the crowd.
He is a methodical wrestler. We'll see if it serves Evan Daniels here.
Methodical is one thing. Brittnie Brooks almost ducking.
Did not duck that, Pollo.
She certainly did not.
Into the cover.
Very unique offense from Evan Daniels.
No!
2.5 count there. I thought maybe that could have been the matchup.
So did Evan Daniels. You saw him raising that middle finger. He thought that was it. He thought he was going to do pointer, middle, then middle by its lonesome. Really send the fans home unhappy, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't enough.
Evan Daniels needs to kick this into high gear. If I was standing at ringside, I would be encouraging him, in fact, nay, demanding that he kick it into the next gear, because now he lost his opportunity. Jordan Cruz is back in the ring, and once again, it's a 2-opponent situation rather than the one he had with Brittnie Brooks.
Boy, you said it best. The worst thing Evan Daniels could have done is let Jordan Cruz get back in this matchup.
Absolutely.
Look where they are now.
Superplex!
Unbelievable power from Jordan Cruz.
Jordan Cruz needs to go for the cover. That could have been the matchup
Yeah, but
here.
he can't. It's easy to be armchair quarterback here. As Brittnie Brooks drops the elbow. Cruz had just as long a landing as Evan Daniels. Sure, he was in control, but he fell from that height too. And now, it is Brittnie bitch, and it might be the match. No.
Oh, no. Jordan Cruz just gut-wrenching her up. What is... Oh my goodness.
Gut wrench, sit out power bomb. Count to 100, Donnie Brooks. No!
Oh. Amazing.
Brittnie Brooks did not kick out. Let's make it perfectly clear. Evan Daniels grabbing the hand of the official.
Evan Daniels in the right place at the right time. That's what we talked about earlier.
And in the right frame of mind. He was cognizant of what was happening and acted.
And Cruz beside himself here, hobbling on one leg. Daniels not much better. These two men duking it out in the center.
This triple threat match now seemingly has broken down into a singles match between Jordan Cruz and Evan Daniels.
That is what it's going to need to be. One of these two competitors, if they have the opportunity, needs to get that pinfall very fast. Because once you put that third individual in the ring, anything is possible.
Chirping chop across the chest into a Kamagoye, thinking no more sorrow. But Evan Daniels saying no to no more. Big knee of his own.
Jumping knee strike has rocked Jordan Cruz.
Hold on, Cruz still has the wherewithal to land on his feet. Small package, no! Roll through, no! More sorrow!
That has to be it.
And it is.
For the record, fans, this is not the way that Evan Daniels wanted to end his evening after protesting not being in the main event, losing by pinfall to Jordan Cruz. No more sorrow, no more consciousness.
Somebody needs to go check on Brittnie Brooks. She's showing no signs of life there on the outside.
She's struggling back to her feet. She is a warrior. She's getting back up. She's taken out of the equation.
But the story here tonight, Jordan Cruz sidelined out of professional wrestling for 5 months with a potential career-ending injury. Suffice it to say, after this victory here tonight, his career, specifically in AFA, far, far from over.